What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another Fridge Financials video. And in today's video, we're breaking down the new credit card set to be released towards the end of the year. It is crypto, it is American Express, and they are coming together. So if you're excited for today's video, feel free, as always, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, turn on those bell notifications for all future uploads. Now, we're going to be looking at this Coinbase partnership with American Express. There's also already another credit card that is out right now that focuses on cryptocurrency, and we're going to compare the two to see which one might be more beneficial. So here we have earn up to 4% Bitcoin back on every purchase with the new Coinbase One card. This fall, we're launching the Coinbase One card, allowing you to earn up to 4% Bitcoin back on every purchase. The Coinbase One card will be available to Coinbase One members in the US and is powered by the American Express network. And again, that's the little picture here of what the credit card is going to look like. One of those like nice fancy like slap on the table. I have an Amex card, you know, those people that you see at dinner sometimes doing it, or maybe in the movies or whatever. The one thing to make a note of is that in order to be a Coinbase One member, you also have to pay a subscription of $5 per month, or if you buy it all at once, you will save about $10 a year if you buy it all up front. And here's it will cost you about $50 for the entire year. So in 2023, we launched Coinbase One with the simple mission to empower our customers with a better way to save, trade, and engage with crypto. Since then, the Coinbase community has grown to nearly 1 million members of Coinbase One. Not just people that use Coinbase, Coinbase One. And again, I was someone that had a lot of my crypto in Coinbase until I cashed it out. United by shared vision of maximizing their crypto potential. Today, we're taking Coinbase One to the next level with updates that make it more accessible, rewarding, and transformative for anyone who is looking to grow their crypto holdings. All right. Here are the perks that you get with this Coinbase One card. Starting this fall, earn up to 4% Bitcoin back on every purchase with the Coinbase One card. You can now earn rewards with the power to grow. And to me, already, this is interesting because, a lot of our credit cards either get air miles or travel points or cash back. For me, like in my Discover It card, I use like a cash back on every purchase. Getting cryptocurrency as a return is actually pretty interesting because if you think about in the grand scheme of the economy and finances in general, the value of the dollar always goes down. So getting cash back, the dollar that you get now is worth maybe, 95 cents next year and then 90 the following year or whatever it is. Again, the dollar value goes down because we print more of it every single year. But with getting paid back in Bitcoin, you might actually be able to grow the cash back, quote unquote, that you get in return. So say you get 4% Bitcoin back and it's at 100,000. Then say 10 years down the road, Bitcoin's at like 400,000. You 4x'd your cash back that you got. So instead of losing value, you can actually gain value. And you can also build your portfolio, which to me is really interesting to think about. And I think it's a great idea. Again, I'm someone who is a firm believer in crypto, especially in Bitcoin and everything. I am a firm believer in it. But it's a very interesting time that we're living in where crypto is becoming more common. Like, it's not going anywhere. Okay, if you think the whole crypto market is a scam, I mean, I get it. It's speculative assets. But, to me, I think it's not going anywhere for like the longest time. It's unbelievable. But so very, very interesting that you can get up to 4% back. The more assets you hold on Coinbase, the more Bitcoin you can earn. Everyone starts at 2%. So minimum amount you get back is 2%. And then on top of that, you will get up to 4% if you hold more in your portfolio. And you don't have to hold more Bitcoin. You just have to hold more assets. So if it's Ethereum, if it's Dogecoin, if it's Shiba Inu, if it's Pepe Coin, whatever meme coins you own, or it's the valid cryptos like Ethereum, Bitcoin, you have XRP, you have Cardano, like those ones are the ones that are the more Solana than our one as well. So if you hold those ones, you can still increase how much you get back in Bitcoin. You get a metal card engraved with a piece of Bitcoin's origin story taken from the Genesis block. Very cool. You also get additional benefits, including access to unique experiences, offers, and protections, because you get it through the American Express network. And I've read up on articles. American Express is someone that does give out a lot of really good benefits when you're an Amex card holder, right? Where it's, airport lounges or hotels or travel points or whatever it is, they're really, really good and they are really well known for it. So everyone will slap down the Amex Black card on the table and everyone looks around and you're like, whoa, look at this guy. All right. So pretty cool thing that we're looking at in this case. And the cool thing is also, again, so you have to be a Coinbase One user and subscription payer to get access to this card here. But you'll get 4% Bitcoin back on your purchases. And again, you're paying $50 a year, so treat it like an annual fee. They didn't announce it's an annual fee with it, but I'm going to assume safely that this will be your annual fee. Just like how Robinhood Gold, you pay the gold membership to get the gold credit card that they have, right? Same thing here. So you're paying $50 a year to get 4% back on every purchase in Bitcoin starting this fall. You also, with Coinbase One, get 4.5% interest on your first $10,000 of the USDC, which is the stablecoin equivalency to the US dollar. So you get 4.5% there, which again is doing better than a lot of banks, especially we'll have to wait and see how interest rates are going to play out over the next couple months here. But 4.5% on your first $10,000 for it. You get zero trading fees up to $500 worth of trades on hundreds of assets, and you get protection up to $1,000 of crypto from unauthorized account access. So there's a lot of really cool things that you do get with Coinbase One, but with your subscription of paying $50 a year, you get the Coinbase One perks, and you also get this credit card from American Express or backed by American Express that allows you to earn 4% back on crypto, especially 4% on Bitcoin. Crazy. Very interesting. And to me, I'm kind of thinking you know what? That's pretty okay, actually. So that's one thing. Now, what you will also know, maybe you've seen it before, and I've seen it on After Hours when we're talking about it. Gemini, which is another crypto platform, has their own credit card as well. And this one's backed by MasterCard. So it's American Express versus MasterCard. They're fighting it out for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, right? So this is what their page is for Gemini and their credit card they have here. We'll break down again. This one has different benefits as well, and then we'll talk about which one might be better, right? So here we go. So this one you get Bitcoin back on every single purchase. Same thing. Let's take a look and see here what they break down. So see if you're eligible. Earn Bitcoin instantly on every purchase, which is really, really cool. You get a $200 in Bitcoin bonus when you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days. So in 3 months, you spend $3,000, which, if you put your monthly bills on there, then if you're able to put your monthly bills on there and expenses, you could rack it up to $3,000 the first 90 days. You'll get $200 in Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. And again, if it 10x's, that 200 becomes 2,000, right? It's amazing. Again, through MasterCard, which everybody takes MasterCard, and there's also no annual fee, which is absolutely amazing. Again, making sure this. So again, the Coinbase One has the Coinbase One fee. You're paying $50 a year. This one, you have no annual fee. So very interesting. Bitcoin rewards earned on the Gemini credit card and held for at least 1 year have appreciated on average 176%. And again, so growing your portfolio and growing your investments in the crypto space and like that, obviously traditional credit cards don't do that. That's why it's 0%. But again, like I was saying earlier, if you get cash back, that cash that you get now is worth less than it was 5 years ago. And even before then, the dollar doesn't go as far because we print more and more supply of it, right? So with Bitcoin, where it's a limited asset and it's very, very, demanded in the investment space, people love buying up Bitcoin, you get a better return potentially. And here's the breakdown, which is really cool. 4% back on gas, EV, charging, transit, taxes, and rideshare. 3% on dining, 2% on groceries, 1% on everything else. So what you'll notice the difference is here is that the Coinbase One, we'll talk about that. We'll lay them out side by side after. I have another page that lays out side by side here for you. But what you'll notice is that Gemini breaks it down based off of what you're buying as percentages. It's like a lot of credit cards have done. Like my Discover card does that, where it's 1% on everything, 2% on groceries, With the Coinbase One, there's no limitations. It's you get 2% to 4% back, no matter what it is that you're doing. And they didn't break down the levels to get to 4%. Maybe the 4% earners have to have $100K in Bitcoin or in crypto. I have no idea. But you get 2% back no matter what on Coinbase for everything. Here, it's broken down by definitely what you're buying. So if you do a lot of eating out, you'll get 3% back. Groceries, 2%. Gas, definitely 4% is very, very common expense we all have. So very, very cool. And the design is actually really slick. I actually kind of like how it's designed right now. I like the look of it and everything. The really interesting thing also that's different here, and we're going to lay out the side by sides here, is that you can earn Bitcoin with a Gemini card, or you can get any other rewards in any other cryptos of 50 plus. So if you don't want Bitcoin, say you're big on Ethereum, say Ethereum has a big selling off day and you want to get your rewards back in Ethereum, you can do it that way. XRP, Solana, the Gemini dollar, the USD coin, which is that stable coin, Dogecoin, Pepe, the meme coins, Shiba Inu meme coins, Chainlink, Polygon, AMP, like you name it, 50 plus of those major cryptos that they offer, you can get rewards back in. So it's not just Bitcoin only. So very interesting perspective to look at here. And again, Yahoo Finance breaks down. This is where I found this article. Again, nice little sleek design there. Kind of like it. And they kind of break down the difference here as to what it is and what it looks like. Again, 0% trading fee, 4.5% on rewards for USDC. So again, basically this is like a high yield savings account. You can also stake more on Coinbase One. Staking basically is you're loading out your crypto and getting paid out for it. So 5% more staking rewards on Ethereum. Depending on what the cryptos are doing, there was one point where Ethereum was staking for like 8 to 10%. At one point I saw, which is pretty cool. So again, 8 to 10% of your crypto is, you're basically loading it out and getting a return back for it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so here's the side by side they broke down here. So again, annual fee, Coinbase, I don't think you will have it because, again, you're paying for the subscription. Gemini has no annual fee, which, again, credit cards that have those fees, some of them are really good because you get rewards back for it, but make sure you spend those rewards. Like, for example, I know, I think it was Amex that has a new card coming out, or they're updating their card where it's like a $700 annual fee, but you get like $800 back in reward through like ride shares and through hotels and that kind of stuff. So if you're going to use those rewards, then it's worth the fee. But if you're not, then it's a waste of money, right? Welcome offer, they don't have one yet, Coinbase. Whereas Gemini says, hey, you spend $3,000, we'll give you $200 in Bitcoin. So that's an easy flip right there. Here's your rewards rate you see broken down. We went over that one earlier as well. Added benefits, again, you get exclusive access to the Amex experiences and offers. But for Gemini, you can get all those different cryptos. They're automatically deposited to your account. Again, you have to open an account with Gemini, which I don't have. And then also easily exchange crypto when you want to earn back as often as you want. So very, very cool. No foreign transactions. American Express backed with the credit card network. MasterCard for this one. First electronic banking, web bank. Don't know really much about those. So yeah, so this is the breakdown. Now, for me personally, if I was to do one of these two credit cards, this is not financial advice, and if you made this from the video, thank you so much for following this along for it. For my advice, if I was to do this, me personally, I would do a Coinbase One card. The reason why I would is because I already have a Coinbase account. I just have to pay for the $50 a year. But you get 2 to 4% back on every single purchase. So, 2 to 4% back on every purchase is absolutely amazing. And if the tiers to 4% is say like $10,000, you could fund out to $10,000 in a Coinbase, then you get 4% back on every single thing you buy. Then that becomes Bitcoin, which goes into your account, which then becomes more valuable and so on and so forth. And you also get the Amex experiences, and you get to slap down the experience of the black Amex card that you get to have here. But either of these cards, honestly, very, very cool to look at. I will be curious to see what people's reviews are as they get used more and more. So just bringing us some insights as to the crypto world still. I know we've done a little more crypto videos recently, but the idea behind a reward system in crypto for credit cards could be a game changer. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Again, if you made it this far in the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and always turn on those bell notifications for all future uploads. We always hope you guys are making money in the market and hopefully getting some kind of cash back and rewards on credit cards or whatever it is you're making to grow your financial freedom and everything else. And as always, we will see you in the next video.